Today we are going to discuss the advantages and disadvantages of preparing alcohol or ethanol from two methods which we learned, from ethene and from glucose. This is what we are going to see by the fermentation. Okay, so advantages, yeah, comparison of the advantages and disadvantages of preparation of ethanol from ethene and glucose. So let me give you an idea. If you remember, we just did these two methods. For example, if I have C6H12O6, what is this? This is glucose. If this glucose is placed in a container with a plate and with yeast, the microorganism it gives produces an enzyme, and then absence of oxygen or 25 to 35 degrees Celsius temperature. So what happens to this glucose in the presence of these three conditions? It ferments. ये क्या है? ये ग्लूकोज है और ये ferment होके क्या बना देता है? What it forms? C2H5OH, ethanol plus carbon dioxide. This process is known as fermentation. This is the one method of preparing an alcohol or ethanol which we learned, and this process is known as fermentation. The other method which we learned is from alkene, from ethene by hydration. We have an alkene like this, CH2CH2. We mixed it with a steam, HOH, you remember, and it turned into ethanol. Double bond is converted to single bond, either H aa gaya, either OH aa gaya. So this is ethene that turned into what? Got it? By reacting it with the steam. And you remember a very high conditions, 350 degrees Celsius temperature, 60 to 70 atm pressure. Okay, and H3PO4 or H2SO4 catalyst. यही दो methods हमने किए ना. Now today we are going to compare their advantages and disadvantages. Okay, this is known as fermentation and this is known as hydration of alkene. Okay, so first right, hydration of alkene से start करते हैं, right? Hydration of alkene, it's a fast, right? Please write down, it's a fast. Advantages. Okay, give advantage का heading दे दें. So I'm giving first hydration of alkene wale ke advantages and disadvantages. It's a fast process, fast and continuous process. It is a fast and continuous process. Number two, it produces pure ethanol. Number three, very high yield. Yield mean amount. Yield of ethanol produced in this method, by this method. It can take place 24/7, all day, 24 hours a day. It's just an industrial process. You just provide these things. Fast hai, quick hai, pure ethanol banta hai. You see, there is no other product form, only one product form. If I write it the equation in this form, C2H4 plus H2O, so the only one product, C2H5OH. That's it. Okay. So there's nothing else formed in this. Clear? Now, but what are the disadvantages? ये तो सारे फायदे हैं. Continuous process mean, you understand what is the meaning of continuous? Continuous process mean you learned in the fermentation that process stops after some time because 10 to 11% ethanol toxic enough to kill the yeast. फिर उसको fraction distillation करके अलग करो, वो process रुक जाता. So it's not that continuous process कि बस बनती जाए alcohol. Okay, number two, for this disadvantages, बच्चों. Disadvantages of this process. Okay, preparing alcohol by this process has some disadvantages. Uses ethene from crude oil. वालेकुम अस्सलाम. यहीं से शुरू किया बेटे. मैं ऊपर दिखा देता हूँ. Uses ethene from crude oil, which is a non-renewable energy source, which is non-renewable energy source. Or another word, obtained. Ethene obtained from a non-renewable energy source. Secondly, as you can see, the reaction conditions are very extreme. It needs high pressure and temperature. Which makes it expensive. Expensive process to prepare an alcohol. Okay, right? It uses a catalyst, needs high pressure, uses a lot of energy, and catalyst. Okay, now these are the disadvantages. Now come to the other side, fermentation. Fermentation के पहले हम देखते हैं what are the advantages. Number one, come to the fermentation, बच्चों. Here is the fermentation. What is advantage? The first and foremost advantage is, sorry?
तीसरा advantage.
Yes, very high yield of ethanol. The product जो बनता है ना ethanol वो बहुत ज्यादा amount में बनता है. Okay, advantages. Number one, In fermentation, the raw materials, ग्लूकोज की बात हो रही है, the raw materials like sugar obtained from renewable energy sources. Number two, does not need much temperature, needs low temperature during the process. Fermentation में आपको heat वीट नहीं करना होता. Environment friendly. As we're not using any non-renewable sources. But there are some disadvantages. Number one, it is a slow process. As I told you when we were doing it, slow and non-continuous process. I told you the ethanol killed the yeast, so we have to stop the process. Okay? It's a slow process. Number two, produces impure ethanol. Distillation is used to separate. Not continuous process. Stops in between. Right. So these are the some advantages and disadvantages of using ethanol. Right. Now coming to the homework, which we did, I gave you yesterday. Can you, sir, please check, Zishan, the homework, how many kids have done? If you can see, check करें इनको. Yesterday we were having there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equations they were supposed to give in first 4 the products and the second 3 reactants. उनकी होमवर्क की एक्सेल शीट भी बनाए हैं. जल्दी से क्विकली चेक कर लें, सो मैं इनको करा देता हूँ. सेवन इक्वेशंस हैं, 4 के प्रोडक्ट्स, 3 के रिएक्टेंट्स. जो लोग जूम पे हैं, प्लीज यू आर सपोज टू सेंड द होमवर्क We have to maintain the record for your homework. Okay, just like your test.
Sir,
और इस फ्राइडे को फिर टेस्ट है ऑर्गेनिक का बिफोर लाइक पोलीमराइजेशन से पहले पहले
sir,
फ्राइडे को अच्छा वो मैं आपको फिर मंडे को दे दूंगा यस नो नो फ्राइडे को ही होगा फॉर हिम ओनली फ्राइडे को पहले तो सिर्फ बेसिक्स का हुआ है ना अब ऑल द रिएक्शंस वी इंक्लूड ओके reactions isomerisms naming everything okay so that is on Friday. Can I have your attention? Okay, look at this. Please see. इनकी अभी ये ले लें एक्सेल शीट्स बना दें और ग्रुप में डाल देना एक्सेल शीट्स बना के उनके ग्रुप में डालें जरा ओके फर्स्ट वन क्या प्रोडक्ट होगा when CH3COOH reacts with calcium carbonate Manur whenever the metal carbonate you need to pay attention just stop your work and pay attention for a while this is the same thing which you missed the last class can you just pay attention okay when carboxylic acid reacts with calcium carbonate it is going to displace this Ca all the metals when they react with acid the metals displace their hydrogen to form what CH3 COO and when the hydrogen is lost they turn it into one negative okay but the calcium is belonging to group 2 so it is 2 positive so the formula writing principle says that you have to cross multiply these so what will be the formula of this salt and this thing is salt what is the formula of this salt CH3COO twice Ca okay so we don't write these positive and negative ions okay so CH3COO twice Ca so what is the name of this compound if this acid name is ethanoic acid what is the name ethanoic turns into what ethanoate and what is the salt name calcium ethanoate this is the salt that is formed that is known as calcium ethanoate please write down and then the product with this is carbon dioxide because whenever there are carbonates so one product is always carbon dioxide and the other is water H2O okay secondly CH3COOH reacts with calcium hydrogen carbonate this is calcium hydrogen carbonate again this metal is going to displace this hydrogen either it's a carbonate hydrogen carbonate whatever it is the metal comes and displaces the hydrogen again the salt formed is the same CH3COO twice I'm not going to do all the working again we know what we have to do and then whenever there is even hydrogen carbonate you have to write carbon dioxide and water the other products okay so now the first equation I did not balance I'm going to balance that equation first so multiply it with 2 here you multiply it with 2 and again carbon dioxide is multiplied with 2 and same as the water I think multiplied with 2 yeah this is I did all further balancing thing but the concept is the same salt water and carbon dioxide is formed what about the next one Manur this magnesium is going to displace this hydrogen so the product is CH3 COO negative and Mg is what 2 positive again they are not going to cancel So we have to cross multiply. What is the formula of the salt? This one. Okay. And the salt name is what? Magnesium ethanoate plus H2O. Okay. So in order to balance this, multiply it with 2 and then 2 here. Salt name is magnesium ethanoate. What about this one? Is this magnesium again? It's metal always. It's alone, it's oxide, hydroxide, carbonate. You know, the one thing happening again and again. The metal goes and takes the place of hydrogen to form a salt. So it becomes HCOO negative and Mg is what? 2 positive. So cross multiply, it becomes this plus H2O. Okay. So the salt name is what? Magnesium. What is the salt name now, bacho? This acid was methanoic acid. तो क्या नाम होगा? Magnesium methanoate. Magnesium methanoate. Okay. Next. Now, in this case, they have told us about the products and expecting us to write the reactants. Okay. Look at this. This is HCOONA. It's a salt. What's the salt name? Sodium methanoate. So I know the acid will be methanoic acid and the other product is water. So I can take sodium ka oxide या sodium ka hydroxide. Because अगर sodium metal होता तो it would have been hydrogen gas with the water. So I'm gonna take HCOOH. All acid की physical state हमेशा aqueous होती है. प्लस सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड अगर लोगे तो वो एक्वियस होगा और अगर कोई और लोगे ऑक्साइड कार्बोनेट और एनीथिंग तो वो हमेशा सॉलिड होता है. So I took hydroxide. So this is methanoic acid with sodium hydroxide to form methanoate. What about the next? I hope you understand and see what is this thing. It is a salt. And which acid it is? प्रोपेनोइक से बना है ना, 3 है. एथेनोइक में 2 होते हैं. No, this is 1C 1C 1C. तो क्या नाम हो गया इसका? प्रोपेनोइक. तो फिर एसिड नाम क्या हो गया? Propanoic acid. And this salt is potassium propanoate. And on this basis, I also know the salt name. This is, sorry, potassium propanoate. And the propanoic acid I have to write. So 1, 2, 3, double bond OH. Here is the propanoic acid. Plus, now carbon dioxide and water clearly tell me that I have to take this metal ka carbonate या फिर hydrogen carbonate. Okay, I'm going to take hydrogen carbonate, KHCO3. But if somebody has taken carbonate, that's even fine. All acid I always tell you aqueous होते हैं और carbonate जो है वो solid होगा. What about this acid? Can you understand? Can you see this salt? Sorry. Yes, it is a calcium ethanoate, the salt. So must be formed from ethanoic acid. और साथ कौन है? Water है. तो metal का क्या होगा? Oxide या फिर hydroxide. So this is calcium ethanoate. And the salt is either ethanoic acid plus calcium oxide ले लेता हूँ आपकी बार. So please write the names of the salts as well. You got it? Okay, one more reaction of acids जो हमने वहां भी पढ़ना होता है, but मैं यहाँ भी आपको बता देता हूँ. Please give a heading: ionization of acids. Ionization of carboxylic acids. Now I hope now you understand by these reactions कि carboxylic acids जो होते हैं, they always lose their last hydrogen, वो जो COOH वाला है, और उन पे क्या चार्ज आ जाता है, वो लॉस करने के बाद नेगेटिव चार्ज आ जाता है. So all the carboxylic acids, look at this, if I take HCOOH or if I take CH3COOH or if I take
सर वो
C2H5,
ऊपर वाला रिएक्शन दिखा दें.
all of them, just give me 1 minute, all of them, they ionize either in water or when you mix them with alkali, and they form HCOO negative and H positive. This is going to form CH3COO negative plus H positive. This is going to form C2H5COO negative plus H positive. So one thing which you can notice, कि चाहे methanoic हो, ethanoic हो या propanoic हो, the last hydrogen that belongs to the functional group, that is ionized. Okay? और इसीलिए अगर ये methanoic acid है, so after ionization, it turns into what? Which ion? Methanoate ion. Okay? If this is ethanoic acid, it turns into what? Ethanoate ion. Okay? If this is propanoic acid, it is propanoate ion. But one thing which it is noticeable, you might have noticed, in all these cases, the sign is not one directional. It is a reversible, which indicates that carboxylic acid, although ionize, but then ionization is not full. It's a partial ionization. That's why these carboxylic acids are acids, but they are not as corrosive as the other acids like mineral acids because they are the weak acids. So please write down all carboxylic acids partially ionized to give hydrogen ion. Partially ionized to give hydrogen ions. Hence, they are weak acids. Okay? And partial ionization के लिए हमने reverse है. And partial ionization mean what? Just numbers help you to understand. There's no such numbers. I just going to put some numbers here just to make you understand what is the meaning of partial. Look, for example, if this is a beaker and I have a water here and I take 100 molecules of HCOOH and put it here. So as I said, in water, it's going to ionize. And you know it's going to ionize to give what? HCOO negative plus H positive. How many molecules I put it in? 100. And you know how many left after ionization? 95. Initially, there was 0 here. But after ionization, how many molecules here? In the product side, like out of 100, only how much ionize? How much ionize? Out of 100, 95 are still there, unionized. 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 How much of them ionize? 5. So can I say roughly ionization percentage is what? 5%. So this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, all the carboxylic acid, you take 100 molecule, 2%, 1%. Yani out of 100, only one molecule or two molecule or maximum 5 molecules are going to ionize. So obviously they are going to give what? 5 ions, 5 hydrogen ions. On the other hand, for the sake of comparison, I'm telling. On the other hand, I took 100 molecule of HCl and put it in the same amount of water. You know what happened? All 100 molecule of HCl ionized to give what? H positive, Cl negative. So in this case, 100 was initially here, 0 here. But when I ended up and when I saw after a while putting HCl into water, I saw nothing on this side. All of them turned into what? 100 H positive and 100 Cl negative. So this is now a comparison. You see why they are how much percentage they ionize? How much percentage they ionize? 100%. So that's why you call them strong acids. And what do you call them? Weak acids. Because you see, same amount. एक drop acid का मैंने पी लिया HCl का. So 100 H positive ion are going to go inside my body. They're going to corrode it. They're going to destroy everything. एक drop मैंने vinegar का पी लिया. So how many hydrogen ions going to go? 5. So they're going to help my digestion and all that. So they're not going to do that much damage, which the HCl is going to do, right? So I hope you understood the term strong acid and weak acid. Strong acid fully ionized, weak acids partially ionized. So all the carboxylic acids, or all of them are weak acids because they are partially ionized, right? Now I'm going to give you a homework again with the test, right? So every day now you have to do this work. मैं आज का जो homework है ये दो चीजें हैं. Number 1, you have to make tables. We have given you एक एग्जाम्पल में हमने दिया हुआ है ना इनको, जिसमें जैसे एल्केन के रिएक्शंस करने थे. आई होप यू मस्ट बी ऑन द ग्रुप, राइट? जिसमें टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शन क्या होता है, व्हाट इज द रिएजेंट एंड कंडीशन, and what is the equation? You remember? So you have to draw this table for what? Alkanes. Number 2, for alkenes. Number 3, for alcohols. And number 4, for carboxylic acids. Okay? So please draw these 4 tables. Alkanes का, alkenes का, alcohols का, carboxylic acid का. बच्चों इसका सैंपल वहां पड़ा हुआ है, उसको अगर टैग कर सकते हैं तो काइंडली सर टैग कर दें. ठीक है? ये होमवर्क है कल का. ठीक है? और फिर कल दूंगा आगे. टेस्ट कल है? कल फ्राइडे नहीं? Okay, then we'll let you know. Right, that's the homework for tomorrow. Thank you.